It's Starter for 10.
Good morning. Welcome to our Starter for 10 this Mother's Day. I don't know how it's gone down in your household with a combination of losing an hour and giving Mum breakfast in bed. It didn't go down well in my house. Anyway, welcome. My name's Jill Hawkins. I'm your host, and I'm joined this morning by Rob.
Good morning.
Rob. And Steve.
Good morning.
Steve's our online host, so you can join him. Actually, do you want to invite folks to...
Absolutely. So if you're watching online live, then please do send your comments in as we get going. We'd love to hear from you.
So in line with our theme of Mother's Day, we're connecting in with a bit of a family question to get you thinking this morning. So Rob, you've got a question for us.
Yeah, so our question is, who do you think you are? And there are a few ways in which we can respond to that. It's quite an aggressive, who do you think you are, type of response. We'll not go there, though, this morning. But you could also think in terms of family histories. So where have you come from? What's shaped you in leading to this particular part of your life? Or you might even think about your personality in terms of who do you think you are? Who do you understand yourself to be? So that's what we're thinking about today.
It's a big question. It's quite a broad question, isn't it? And so I'm going to kick off by answering, I think.
Okay.
So we've had a little bit of time to think about this. And I want to say I'm the daughter of two very strong grandmothers. Both of them found themselves in quite a lot of difficulty with their children young. But the one up in the northeast of Scotland in a little village called Bookham, her husband, my grandfather, died when her children were quite young. No DHSS at the time, no social security. So Granny had a door knocked through from her lounge into the street and converted her lounge into a shop. I think these days she'd be called an entrepreneur, but she was just surviving. And she just thought of all the things that the people in the village needed. And so she sold plimsolls. We didn't call them plimsolls, they're called jimmies in Scotland. Wellies, thread, wool, whatever she could think of that people needed. And that is how she survived from the time my dad was, I think, 9. And it was a very gentle, lovely lady, but was really strong. And the only money she had when my grandpa died was from selling his nets. They didn't really own anything. And 2/3 of that she put in the bank for the 2 boys. So she had to do this with the money that was left, which wasn't very much money. So, yeah. I'm proud, I think, of my ancestry when it comes to my grannies, definitely. Yeah. What about you?
Well, I'm thinking a little bit further back, and my mum's done a bit of kind of family history, and there's a bit of a tenuous link, we think, with a particular knight that came over with William the Conqueror, who was called Prendergast, and so you can still go to just outside Aberystwyth in Wales, and just outside of the town, there's a road called Prendergast Lane, and there's a mound of earth in a field, which is the remains of Prendergast Castle. And interestingly, my sister has the name, a middle name is really? Prendergast, as does one of my nieces as well. So we're still trying to hold on to that little bit of family history from a long time ago. So yeah, that would be my little bit of family history. If I was to think about personalities, then personality-wise, Myers-Briggs-wise, I'm an ENTJ protagonist. So I like to see things moving forward, like to see change happening, a bit of disruptor in terms of how I approach things.
Okay, great, very interesting. So if you know your Myers-Briggs personality type, put it onto the chat and Steve will share it. What about you, Steve? Have you got a story for us?
I'm just wondering if there's a connection between this knight in your past and your personality type as you just described. Sometimes, yes. I really, when I've thought back into our family history, there's nothing really jumping out. There's not like a notable figure or anything. So thinking about this question, I thought about more immediate family, and I thought about my mum and dad, actually, who... when I was about 12, my brother was about 10, they came to faith in a period of real crisis. There was a lot going on. And that's really has incredibly shaped my brother and my life. I would say that probably in particular my mother's faith, who died some years ago, was really shaped my faith and my relationship with Jesus as well. So those were the things that I thought I'd share.
Great, thank you guys. So I think, Rob, you're going to introduce the song now.
Yeah, so our song today is a song called I Will Build My Life, written by a group of people, Matt Redmond and Pat Barrett being a couple of those. And really just trying to help us to think about what it is that shapes us and forms us as people. And sometimes that is our histories that we carry with us, our sense of who we are as well. And what is it that we're building into our lives in terms of who we are? So let's have a listen to the song, Build My Life.
Worthy of every song we could ever sing, worthy of all the praise we could ever bring, worthy of every breath we could ever breathe. We live for you, oh Jesus, yeah. Jesus, the name above every other name. Jesus, the only one who could ever save, yeah. Worthy of every breath we could ever breathe. We live for you. We live for you, yeah. And holy, there is no one like you. There is none beside you. Open up my eyes in wonder and show me who you are, and fill me with your heart and lead me in your love to those around me. Worthy of every song we could ever sing, worthy of all the praise we could ever bring, yeah. Worthy of every breath we could ever breathe. We live for you, oh Jesus, yeah. Oh, Jesus, the name above every other name. Jesus, the only one who could ever save, yeah. Worthy of every breath we could ever breathe. We live for you, oh, we live for you, yeah. And holy, there is no one like you. There is none beside you. Open up my eyes in wonder and show me who you are, and fill me with your heart and lead me in your love to those around me. And holy, there is no one like you. There is none beside you. Open up my eyes in wonder and show me who you are, and fill me with your heart and lead me in your love to those around me. And I will build my life upon your love. It is a firm foundation, and I will put my trust in you alone, and I will not be shaken, and I will build my life upon your be shaken, yeah. I will not be shaken, oh. You are our firm foundation, yeah. You are our firm foundation, oh. And holy, there is no one like you. There is none beside you. Open up my eyes in wonder. Show me who you are and fill me with your heart and lead me in your love to those around me. Show me who you are and fill me with your heart and lead me in your love to those around me.
Thank you, Luke and Rob, for choosing that. It's a lovely song, really making us think really about what we're building our lives on. Steve, is there some response online?
Yeah, we've had a bit of response. Thanks for those who've sent your ideas in. So Phil says he's very proud of his English, Iberian, Norwegian and African lineage, and ponders whether that might be where he gets his love of travel from, which seems pretty likely to me. Peter?
DNA test.
Yeah.
Is it DNA? He had one of those. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And he's got, all those connections in it.
Fantastic. Actually, there's somebody else who's done one of those, and that's Peter says that his son Simon recently did a DNA ancestry test and worked out that the Bottomley family virtually evolved in Lancashire and never moved out. So that kind of
Okay, not very
like
exciting then.
on personality types, Barbara has said that she is INFJ, and she reckons that's almost exactly the opposite to Rob.
Yes. Excellent, great. Thank you for that, guys. Keep on sending them in. We're going to go over to Rob now, and he is going to bring us our high five for the morning.
Well, great, yes. So we live in challenging times, times that are full of complexity, full of difficulty. We've been through a couple of years of pandemic. We've got climate change, there's war, there's financial challenge and cost of living challenges going on as well. So there's a lot that is kind of prevailing against us in our world today. I mean, I guess we're quite fortunate in a number of ways that we can, in some ways, sort of protect ourselves a little bit from some of the impact of those things, but not everything. And we do feel the impact and challenge of those things. And then on top of that, you can load celebrity culture and the pressure of social media and all that does in terms of trying to challenge us to think about who we are and offering us all of these different options and choices. And all this adds up to actually a huge mental health crisis. We at Leatherhead Youth Project, LYP, we have noticed just in the last few months a huge increase in the number of young people who are seeking help for mental health issues. And I think that knowing who we are in the midst of all of these challenges is something that's really significant and important for us. And the Bible offers us just so many different ideas about who we are. And we could go to so many different places in the Bible and explore that sense of identity. But the two that we're going to be particularly playing with today is that of a new creation and of also being ambassadors. There's two ideas around identity that we're going to particularly work with today. And I wonder if you've ever thought of becoming something new, a new kind of creation. And Paul, one of the writers of the Bible, talks about that in a letter that he writes to some people who are living in really challenging circumstances in a place called Corinth. And he talks about a new creation, the old going, the old things that kind of shaped us and made us who we are, and a new creation coming to us. And then he goes on to talk about us being, therefore, ambassadors for this new creation, this new identity, which is formed and shaped by the person of Jesus. And there's lots of illusion within that of royalty, of us becoming like royalty. And I imagine, I'm in some clothes today. I've got a shirt on and some jeans, and these are clothes that are pretty standard for me as a person. But I was thinking that they're pretty standard. They're just what I wear most days of the week. But when we become Christians, when we have this new creation experience happen to us, it's like we find that we start to get wrapped in some really fine material. It's really kind of regal, royal in nature. And I was just imagining myself kind of wrapped in this kind of royal linen, this fine royal clothes, and acting as an ambassador for this person of Jesus, and that being my identity in this really challenging and complex world. Jill.
Love it, Rob. Actually, I have to admit, when the question was asked, there were things about my family that I thought I'll not mention. My middle name, for example, is Campbell. The Campbells are known for being very violent. They murdered the McDonalds in their beds, actually. That's the big story that's connected with the Campbells. And, of course, there are more modern parts of our family lineage. We just think, bit ashamed of that, not sure I want to inherit it.
Yeah.
So this is what I love about that truth, that this new identity that God gives me allows me to say, I don't need to live out of some of the things that are in my family line that I might have been bound to live out without the freedom of Jesus.
Yeah.
So I love that. Yeah, fantastic. What do you think, Steve?
Yeah, so I'm thinking about how prior to this little family crisis I mentioned earlier, and my mum and dad and us two brothers coming to faith, there wasn't any Christianity around, actually. And so something really new happened that day that changed the course of our lives and the lives of quite a lot of other people too in that process. So yeah, I like this idea of newness and discovering who we are and what we're meant to be.
Yeah.
I think that's really, really inspiring. Yeah.
Steve. Any other online comments before we...
No, it's all gone quiet. People have said all they're going to say.
Okay.
But I think you're going to, because it was sort of shaped, I was thinking about this week, you're going to share something about restoring the foundations in the service, which kind of picks up on the same kind of theme, doesn't it,
Absolutely.
Jill?
Yeah, restoring the foundations. We're launching this ministry in the church today, and it is really about really discovering deeply who we are in Jesus. And often that's to do with putting off stories that have been put on us by family, by our lineage, by our history, by bad things that have happened to us during our lives, and we begin to live out of them. And actually restoring the foundations gets right into that. So yeah, come along to the service. We're here as usual, 10:30. You can watch the sermon, which comes on round about 11ish on the YouTube, or you can join us on Zoom if you've got that link. Or you can come to the building. There's still space in the building, and we're going to be celebrating Mother's Day. This is a little treat for the ladies. So thanks for joining us. Take care. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.